let's take a look at the world of today. This is the world of today. It is a world of communication, it is a world of interaction, it is a world of sharing our knowledge. This is a network. This network is a graphic description of a certain part of the internet. This is only a part, this is only a website. These are the connections that a website can have in a certain amount of time. But how did we get to this exactly? How did we get to this point where communication is so essential in so many parts of our daily life? Well, first, let's review some history on this to see if we can figure it out. Fall of Socialist Bloc in 1991. On December the 25th of 1991, the USSR officially dissolved into 12 countries after its defeat in the Cold War. IMF Data Dissemination Standards in 1995. The International Monetary Fund changes its information dissemination policy, allowing the public and investigation organizations to consult their data. McDonald's Gold Arches Theory in 1999. Thomas L. Friedman stated his Gold Arches Theory in 1999 in his book The Lexus and the Olive Tree, which reads as follows: Now two countries that both had McDonald's had fought a war against each other since each got its McDonald's. In Mexico, Vicente Fox is selected in 2000. First time in many years that the PAN party wins over the PRI party in Mexican democratic elections. This is the first time we can see evidence of Mexican democracy in practice. Twin Towers attack in 1911-2001. Members of Al-Qaeda take 4 commercial planes and crash 2 of them against the World Trade Center, 1 against the Pentagon, which is the US Defense Department, ironically, and the last one was headed towards Washington, D.C., but never reached. Ebola outbreak in July 2015. Believed to start on late 2013 with the 1-year-old boy Emile Unamuno in Guinea, South Africa. The infection remained there for a few months, until on March the 25th, in 2014, the World Health Organization reported the outbreak of the virus. 1 year later, the disease had killed over 10,000 people. On 31st July 2015, a vaccine was created and the spread of the infection was stopped. Internet reaches 3,000 billion users around the world in 2015, from which 27% are East Asian, 11% are South Asian, 10% are from the US, and only 3% are Central American. France attacks in November 2015. The night of 13 November 2015, a series of terrorist attacks were held by ISIS members on various points of Saint Denis in North Paris, killing over 130 people. Popular conspiracy theories over the internet fear of a second Cold War or even a third World War. I actually like to know what you think on the matter. But there are some terms we have to review, we have to discuss in order to understand what the world is today and what the world will probably be tomorrow. The first term is globalization. What is globalization? It's a phenomenon of international integration and interchange of products, services, knowledge, and cultures around the world that can be possible thanks to the advances in technologies for communication and transportation. This includes an interdependence factor amongst countries. That means they depend on each other. Terrorism. It is defined as an act to cause political terror and social terror. It is often seen as a measurement to press nations or groups of people to perform certain political, religious, or social goals, generally not set by themselves but by other manipulative groups who will get benefit from those goals being achieved. These acts are performed in public settings with the objective of showing people their moral standards of murder. Unipolar world. In international relationships, unipolarity is to have the power and influences of the world under one nation's domain. In present days, it is largely stated that the winner of the Cold War, which is the US, holds the world power as the biggest influence of social, economic, and political movements. Digital era. Also known as Information Age or 21st century, it is the last block of history until today. Marked by the development of the digital revolution, this era is characterized by the speed and capacity of communication, and that it has become the basis of international economy, politics, and people's social lives. Featuring the use of internet and devices such as computers and smartphones with an internet connection, this era has changed the way we communicate and live our daily lives. Now we have to connect the dots, to look at the information and relate them with the past events that I have described. We have some questions here. Why did the globalization emerge? Well, it emerged because of the necessity of communication amongst countries. Humanity tends to think that teamwork is better than isolation of nations, and so this can lead to enrichment of countries in economy, politics, and culture. As an example of globalization, we have the Ebola outbreak and the IMF data dissemination. In most cases, what caused the terrorist attacks of the 20th century? Well, both political and religious factors mostly, especially the ones presented by members of the Islamic State, European powers, and the US, who have been having confrontations for centuries. As an example, we have the World Trade Center, the attacks, and the terrorism in Paris of 2015. How does the end of the Cold War relate with the unipolar world? Well, it relates in all senses. It's a clear example of the winner gets it all. The winner, in this case the US, got all the world dominance because its competitor was defeated. And in the present days, it has no rival power that can be as big as this nation. As an example, of course, we have the fall of the socialist bloc and the Golden Arches theory, perhaps also Vicente Fox's election because of democratic reasons in Mexico. How has the digital era influenced today's society? Well, the capacity of today's population in first world countries or world powers is amazing. The speed and quantity and quality of information and transmission has taken a steep, abrupt curve upwards compared to the past century. Today, us who live in a digitalized world of information flows have different values, have different priorities, perhaps even a different culture than our parents, and surely very different than our grandparents. We live informed. We receive knowledge without the need of asking for it. We are bombarded every day with pieces of different kinds of information, with knowledge originated anywhere around the world. We can handle it, of course, we can handle it, because we are the productive humans of the 21st century. As an example of this, we have the ginormous data of internet in 2015 and the hashtag Pray for Paris 2015.